Hello, and thank you for taking the time to view my final presentation. My name is Katrina Savitz, and I teach 4th grade at Carberry Elementary School. My room number is A106. Here is a layout of my classroom. I have a small whiteboard in the back that I use during small group instruction, along with a kidney table for students to sit and work with me. I have a bulletin board where the calendar, weather, and birthdays are displayed. We have the Chromebook cart. We have one-to-one Chromebooks in my classroom, so we keep them in the Chromebook cart so that they can be charged overnight. I have 2 bookshelves. Students are able to pick a book from these bookshelves and read during free read time. I have some file cabinets, a teacher credenza, and a teacher desk. We have upper cabinets, lower cabinets, and a sink. I have the front door, and next to the front door is the reading bulletin board where I display our lesson focus roll. We have 2 whiteboards in the front along with a smartboard in the center. On the left, we have a math bulletin board where I post math concepts and math vocabulary. We have a back door. On the left, we have 2 windows and the student cubbies. The layout of the student desks are in an E and a backward C shape. The students really like this because it gives all students visibility of the board and to myself. This slide discusses school and class demographics. So I work at Kenneth J. Carberry Elementary School in Emmett, Idaho. We are a school from grades kindergarten through 4th grade. We have 538 students enrolled and 36 ELL students enrolled into school. For my class, it's a 4th grade class and I have 22 students. 2 students are special education students and I have 1 ELL student. The male ELL student that is in my class, he scored a 70 on the 77th percentile for STAR reading, 92nd percentile for STAR math. I also included his WIDA scores. So spring of 2019, he scored a 4.2. And in spring 2018, so that's when he was in 3rd grade, he scored 3.7. The student receives intervention, however, it is not pull-out ELL services. He is assigned to the Catalyst Reading Win group, and in that group, they are doing a book study with Harry Potter. This slide is my daily schedule. So from 9 to 9:30 on Mondays and Fridays, we do science or Idaho history. We are on a trimester schedule, so the first trimester I focus on Idaho history, the second trimester I focus on science, and then the third trimester I focus back on Idaho history. On Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, we have specials. From 9:30 to 10 a.m., we have specials. From 10 to 10:30 a.m., we have math intervention, also known as Math Win. From 10:30 to 10:45 a.m., we have AM recess. From 10:45 a.m. to 12:15 p.m. is Reading Core, which is 90 minutes. In that block, we teach reading fluency, reading comprehension, spelling, and grammar. From 12:15 to 12:55 p.m. is our lunchtime. 12:55 to 2 o'clock is our math core, which is 60 minutes. And in that, we're teaching mostly problem solving. From 2 o'clock to 2:30 p.m., we have reading intervention, also known as Reading Win. From 2:30 to 2:45, we have PM recess. This particular recess, I go outside and I have recess duty. From 2:45 to 3 p.m. is our writing block. And from 3 o'clock to 3:20 p.m., we have class meeting. This is where we talk about any changes that might come about on our schedule, talk about any issues. We do some cursive. I do a read aloud. This slide discusses the aspects that make Carberry special. The first part is our supportive administration and instructional coach. Our principal is outside and in the hall greeting students, and he also stands out front during morning pickup and afternoon drop-off. He is often found at recess out on the playground playing 300 with the boys. Our instructional coach conducts monthly observations with immediate feedback, and she is always readily available for any of our instructional needs. Carberry is also a giving school. We have a backpack program. We have a lot of students who this may be at school, this may be their only form of food. So we like to send them home with a bag of food to take for the weekend. Our PTO is very giving. They just purchased new balls and frisbees for recess. They also give each teacher $125 a year to purchase supplies and whatever they need for their classroom. We have the GCEA Cheer Basket. That's the Gem County Education Association. They do Christmas cheer baskets for families in need during the holidays. Carberry is also a NASA school. There's a team of teachers who develop activities around science and technology, and there are students that are involved. There are third graders and fourth graders involved. We have a NASA night. We had an individual from NASA come down and bring one of their telescopes so that families can actually look up into the sky and see stars and or planets. We also have literacy night and math night put on by our Title I department. Lastly, Carberry is one of 4 elementary schools in Emmett School District. This slide discusses my position and my team. This is my second year teaching 4th grade, but it's my 8th year teaching overall. I teach all subjects: reading, math, science, and Idaho history. They're all taught in the self-contained general education classroom. I am in charge of the classroom management in my classroom. That's routines, procedures, and behavior. I also teach 2 WIN groups, and they're organized by student needs. I teach a middle reading comprehension reading group for middle kids that are scoring in the mid-range on their STAR tests, and I teach a low math WIN class that is focusing on place value, numeration, patterns, and relationships. There are 4 4th grade teachers that have between 4 to 20 years of teaching experience, and 2 of the teachers on our team also have special education endorsements. This slide is a transcript of an informal chat with student B. The first question I asked is, how do you feel about living in Emmett? His response was, I feel calm. It's a good environment and not a lot of mean people that steal. The second question is, what did you like about your ELL class? He replied, I liked getting candy from Mrs. Rico and playing the sight word basketball game. The last question I asked was, what holidays do you celebrate at home? He said that he celebrates Dia de los Muertos. He said, for Dia de los Muertos, we go to a family member's house, we eat and play. Student B's language performance, I would consider close to proficient in English. There are a few grammar mistakes, few words that are missing. I think this has to do with mostly being shy. And when I did this interview with him, this informal chat, it was at the beginning of the year, and we were still working on the relationship. This slide is the language performance for the informal chat with student Y. I asked student Y the same questions that I asked student B. Here is the transcript. The first question, how do you feel about living in Emmett? I feel great. I like living here. There's not a lot of bad people that live here and do bad things. What did you like about your ELL class? I liked talking with Mrs. Rico about Spanish things. What holidays do you celebrate at home? We celebrate Christmas. The whole family is together with food. This particular student, I would feel, is in the mid-range towards his proficiency. He's not quite proficient, but he's definitely on his way. There's a lot of repeats in things that he says, and he's not very specific. There's not a lot of adjective use. This slide is a writing example of an informative paragraph by student B. He starts off with these 3 informational paragraph. What he means is, here are 3 facts for my informational paragraph. The next error, he says, Odell was born on November 5th of November. There's a repeat there. He labeled each fact with numbers. It says he attended football, basketball, and soccer. I think that maybe he meant to say he played football, basketball, and soccer. It's interesting that he used the wingspan. I'm not sure that this student knows what wingspan is. I think that he just copied that from the internet. I really think that he is on his way to being a better writer. He is definitely excited when we do have writing assignments. He is very excited about it and loves to share. This slide is a writing example for an explanatory essay from student Y. How to make the best Nutella sandwich in the world. So I'm not sure what he was thinking. I think he spelled it wrong, and Google Docs was saying that there was an error, and he fixed it the best he could. He uses a lot of periods, which aren't in the right spot. So you need 2 pieces of bread. It doesn't matter, period, what kind of bread. They're all in the wrong spot. He also has some spacing issues. I think he writes the way he talks. And because he's not quite a proficient English speaker, his writing reflects that, and you can tell by what he writes that it is very much the way he talks. This student is very cooperative, and he loves to make his teachers happy and impress them, and I really think he worked hard on this. Thank you for taking your time out to view my PowerPoint final presentation. Thank you.